You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the housing minister discusses an affordable housing plan for Grand Bahama. Plus, residents of Abaco calling for the North Abaco port to be opened. And the Chinese ambassador taking in a bit of acrobatics on Grand Bahama. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Raven Davis. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news tonight, the Minister of Housing is outlining an aggressive plan that the government hopes will deliver affordable housing to residents of Grand Bahama. The Honorable Jobeth Colby Davis says some situations hampered efforts to move more quickly. However, a deliberate effort is being given for housing solutions to residents on Grand Bahama. Here's that report. Minister for Housing and Transport, the Honorable Jobeth Colby Davis, disclosing that following fruitful discussions with the Minister for Grand Bahama, her ministry is eyeing a few properties, mainly in the Heritage Community subdivision. She says the first set is a private property owner with 18 lots.
That one has infrastructure already, so once we acquire that property, we should be able to start home constructions on the first 18 lots. And then the next 100 lots we have to seek to acquire from the Port Authority, and we got cabinet approval to proceed with discussions on that acquisition, and so we're working towards acquiring that. That one doesn't have infrastructure, and so that always slows building or construction of the home style.
And now, having gained cabinet's approval to proceed with discussions on the acquisition of the next 100 lots, Colby Davis adds that the intent is to begin moving toward home construction on the 118 lots as soon as possible.
So the timeline I can't really say because we got to do the acquisition first, but definitely we're working towards that. We've started the acquisition already.
Last year, April, the minister was on hand for the launch of a housing expo in Grand Bahama meant to assess the appetite for public housing while bringing quality and affordable housing solutions to residents. Asked if she's pleased about the progress thus far, the minister says some situations delayed progress, but contends that they are beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
When we did the housing fair last year, we noted that a lot of the young professionals were asking about the Heritage subdivision. A lot of them said that is where they're more interested in us doing a development. And so because of that, we went after the acquisition, and that took a while, but I think we're almost there now. And so I'm happy that we're now seeing the green light and the movement, but I would have loved it to be a lot faster than it has been.
She outlines ways for persons to qualify and advises them to visit the Department of Housing for guidance, then visit their bank of interest to assist with financing.
We have a website, www.mothbahamas.com, and with that application, they ask for a job letter, they ask for 2 forms of identification, and then they also ask for like a pre-assessment. So if the bank has already given you a pre-assessment to say, based on your job letter and your income, this is how much you may be able to afford in a mortgage. That letter would also assist us in determining if they can qualify to afford the home.
In other news, the North Abaco Pastors Association is demanding answers from the government regarding the North Abaco port investment. They believe that it is critical to have the port open for the future development of the people of the Northern Bahamas and more so the country as a whole. Christine Pinder reports.
The future of North Abaco Port tops the agenda of the North Abaco Pastors Association. Leading the crusade to reopen the North Abaco Port, Pastor Marvin Mills. He's at the forefront of launching an online petition.
That petition can be found on change.org/open North Abaco's port. And we also had a signing of that petition at the meeting. Online presently, we have over 700 signatures within less than 72 hours.
Pastor Mills is seeking an audience with the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, the Minister of Transport and Housing, the Honorable Jobeth Colby Davis, and the Minister of Works and Utilities, the Honorable Alfred Sayers. He expects a positive outcome. Pastor Mills is urging the government to have the port open in order to provide additional employment for residents of the Northern Bahamas, in particular the residents of Abaco and Grand Bahama.
Wanted to know from the government whether or not they have chosen a private partner as yet. I want to also acknowledge, too, that the minister spoke in a newspaper article from the Tribune yesterday morning that the government's intention is to move forward with the North Abaco port. And I have also been told that the Prime Minister, when he was on the island last, spoke to in a private meeting and gave his support and his assurance that they will move forward. However, we're not just going to sit there. We will give them the benefit of the doubt, but we want to continue to press until we see action.
Scott Bootle says he is a consultant with the government with a wealth of knowledge in the marine industry. Bootle has thrown his support behind the Prime Minister.
I'm in full support with what the Prime Minister is doing. My company, we are a startup company, North Abaco Port Company, and the idea of the North Abaco Port Company was given to us by this current Prime Minister doing his tender as the Deputy Prime Minister 7 years ago. So we're in full support of what the government is doing, and we he had advised the pastors as far as navigation in the maritime sector of the way forward for Northern Abaco.
Pastor Mills is hoping to present the petition to the government and expects a positive outcome. For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Christine Pinder.
The Minister of Transport and Housing, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, is responding to the demands made by members of the North Abaco Pastors Association. She stated that there is no need for a petition as we have a request for proposal in with the Office of the Attorney General. And once their review is completed, it will be loaded for proposals to come forward. It is not an overnight fix, but we are working as best as we can to provide a viable solution for all concerned. The minister further stated that by way of update, a meeting was held yesterday between the Office of the Attorney General, the Port Department, and the ministry. Additionally, a team from the Port Department is on the ground in Abaco to ensure that we engage and follow up with stakeholders. As minister, I understand the concern of Abaconians. She closed her statement by noting that I want to assure them that we are working diligently. Switching gears now, the Ministry of Tourism and Freeport Harbor Company officials meeting the crew of the Seven Seas Navigator this past Saturday. As it's become customary, a special plaque exchange was held aboard that ship, and it is hoped that the vessels will make regular stops to the island in the months ahead. Here's that report.
Seas Navigator making an unscheduled stop here in Freeport. It was a unique occasion as it is the first time the vessel would port on the island. To commemorate the occasion, Ministry of Tourism and Freeport Harbor Company officials exchanged plaques with Captain Lushka Kristovich. Offering a 6-star experience, here's the captain on why this was an ideal stop for those on board.
Most of our guests who are sailing in April, March and May are searching exactly this, to come a nice warm places where you have a good organized tours, good guides, and touring is quite important for our product. Most of our guests, they really travel to see the destination and experience the destination.
And he adds it's also key to give the passengers a new destination they can enjoy.
Most of our guests are repeating guests. They have their loyalty program and they really like to see always something new. Since we don't go so many times in Freeport with this ship, probably this was one of the things why the ship is full this time.
With a 500 passenger capacity, the vessel brought over 400 passengers on board. With most of its occupants hailing from the United States and other countries, the cruise line is said to make frequent stops in various regions. And as it relates to activity at the harbor, Maritime Manager at the Ministry of Tourism, Nuvalari Trudasing, explains it was a very good day.
Having both Navigator and Margaritaville in this morning, and also Valeria coming in this afternoon, the harbor will be pretty busy.
And while sharing it has been a struggle getting visitors to the island since the COVID-19 pandemic, Port Director at the Freeport Harbor Company, Orlando Forbes, says this is a step in the right direction.
Cornwall's doing good. Royal Caribbean is coming along. NCL and now today, 7 Seas Navigators here with 463 passengers. So we're just liking it, as is the taxi drivers, and it's representing a plus for Grand Bahama today.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
And in celebration of the 50th independence of the Bahamas, the Regency Theater lit up with excitement last night as the acrobatic delegation from Hunan, China put on jaw-dropping performances for eager attendees, including the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, and members of the Chinese Embassy. From a Straw Hats carol to folk song solos, the troupe left it all on the stage in what is deemed a wonderful gift of cultural exchange. The Honorable Ginger Moxie says the show is symbolic of the bond the Bahamas shares with China as proposed sister cities, and such performances helps the country to explore more areas of the orange economy.
Performances like this will help us to delve into more of the areas of the orange economy and give us a small glimpse into the future of what is possible, because we do see Grand Bahama Island as the home of events and entertainment. And Hunan province just happens to be the capital of entertainment for China. As Minister for Grand Bahama, I stand before you tonight to express my deep gratitude to the people of Hunan for this tremendous opportunity to strengthen ties and further our relationship between our two cities.
Chinese Ambassador Dai Qingli says the troupe is not only demonstrating their acrobatic skills, but is bringing along the friendship of the Chinese people and expresses their desire for a stronger partnership between China and the Bahamas.
Hunan is the 7th largest province in terms of population and the 9th largest in terms of GDP in China. It is strong in many sectors, from industry, health to entertainment. Its budding sister city relationship with Grand Bahama promises to evolve into an economic partnership and blossoming cultural exchange. I'm committed, and my embassy is committed, to working with the minister and her team to make this relationship a fulfilling one for both sides.
And a mother on Grand Bahama is searching for answers for her missing son who was last seen in New Providence. Tonight, she shares with our Jay Philippe how challenging this has been for the family and is asking anyone who may know something about the disappearance to contact police. Here's that report.
Grand Bahamian Joshua Starr should have celebrated his 25th birthday last week, May 5th, but instead, according to his mother, he has not been seen or heard from since February 7th on the island of New Providence.
Joshua moved to Nassau in October of 2022.
The mother of 6 says she received a phone call from Joshua on February 7th around 6 a.m.
Answering the phone, he came on the phone, he was frantic. He was stating that some people was trying to kill him. And I was coming out of sleep, I was just like, okay, what you mean they're trying to kill you? Where are you? What are you doing?
Sonia said she tried to call him back, but she was not successful. That early morning call at 6 a.m. was the last time she heard from her son.
I waited for half an hour and I called him back. His phone just kept ringing. Throughout the day, I kept calling his phone and I wasn't getting an answer. 2 to 3 days after, as I continued to call the phone eventually stopped ringing and just went to the person is unable to answer the phone.
Sonia says it's been 3 months with ongoing communication with the police both in New Providence and Grand Bahama. However, there has been no leads in her son's disappearance.
For me, it's just a strain and a pain of just not knowing, just not having an idea.
The mother has flown to New Providence on 4 separate occasions in an attempt to find answers as to what may have happened to her son, Joshua Starr.
I would like to understand what happened to my son, what is happening to my son, how I can help him. And if at this point I can't help him, how I can give my family and him rest and closure.
For now, Sonia and her family says they have been praying for Joshua's safe return. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Well, police at the Criminal Investigations Department has issued a bulletin for 28-year-old Cresswell Allen Store. His last known address is number 1A Explorers Way. Store is of dark brown complexion and is slim build. Anyone spotting him, please contact police at CID at 911, National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430 or 1, Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. The Family Islands can call 1242-300-8476. And ZNS News has learned that a Grand Bahama man spending time at Her Majesty's prison has died. Reports say 74-year-old Norman Ferguson passed away at the Princess Margaret Hospital this week following a short illness. Ferguson was given a 10-year sentence back in December of last year on the charge of unlawful sexual intercourse with an 8-year-old girl. A Grand Bahama student wins a prestigious title. We will tell you all about it when the news continues.
Down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
List your home in Grand Bahama with H.G. Christie. Visit their new office in the Port Lucaya Marketplace. H.G. Christie, celebrating over 100 years of service.
Sunday, May 14th, celebrate Mom in the Grand Lucayan Hotel Grand Ballroom for a Mother's Day full buffet brunch treat with plenty of live entertainment. Tickets on sale at the lobby daily. For more information, call 373-1333.
Visit Island Care Pharmacy on Explorers Way, next to Tico's Clothing Store. They offer the best in pharmaceutical healthcare and medical supplies. Take advantage of their medical discount plan today. Island Care Pharmacy, phone 602-0932.
Don't miss the free bracelet event just in time for Mother's Day, going on now exclusively at Pandora Port Lucaya.
The NACAC New Life Invitational Track Meet comes to the Grand Bahama Sports Complex Saturday, May 13th. Tickets $20 for adults and $10 for children.
Mothers are meant to be treasured. Make this Mother's Day one that she will never forget. Shop Bellevue Gifts and Supplies, Queens Highway, for great gift ideas.
Gents, Mother's Day is coming up and I'm thinking about upgrading my kids' mother's kitchen.
Man, I thought your children's mother was married to another man. You have to know when to let go. This is powerful. You know what? I'm going to upgrade my wife's kitchen for Mother's Day. I am sure she would love that.
I think so too. Check out Cornet Bahamas. They're having a pre-Mother's Day sale, 35% off store-wide starting April 16th through May 16th. The Sandy Port Plaza, Freeport, Albuquerque, and Ilu.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, what's up? Good morning. It's your girl Gigi, and it's the Morning Brew Show, and you're gonna love it. Come on, let's dance right into the afternoon with your favorite mix of Afro beats and Caribbean hits. Join me every morning at 8 a.m. to 12 noon as we talk about the latest hot topics, hot tea, and what's going on in the community. Come on, man, let's dance right on into the afternoon with your favorite hits. It's the Morning Brew Show with your girl Gigi on Power 104.5 FM.
Flirty. Is everybody back up in the building? It's been a minute, tell me how you're healing. Cause I'm about to get into my
#1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Well, the entire island of Grand Bahama can celebrate as this island is home to the country's junior minister of tourism. This is a significant accomplishment for the Grand Bahama Academy student who excelled over her co-fellow competitors from other schools in the country. Jay Philippe has the story.
11th grade student at Grand Bahama Academy, Layla Lethan is the winner of the 2023 Bahamas Junior Ministry of Tourism, Investment and Aviation competition that was held in New Providence.
When I think about that name and that title, it makes me feel very proud and happy. It made me feel as if I achieved my goals that I've been longing for, and it made me feel proud because I brought home the win to Grand Bahama.
Lethan previously won the Grand Bahama competition a few months ago on Grand Bahama, which earned her the opportunity to compete against other students throughout the country. Lethan is the third Grand Bahamian to win this award since it was introduced in 2002 and the first ever student from Grand Bahama Academy to do so.
Our school is a small school, and I felt as if winning this title would give them a big chance, that people would start to know them and people would start to know that, hey, Grand Bahama Academy has some very talented students. Let's scope them out, or let's check them out some more.
Manager at the Ministry of Tourism, Investment and Aviation, Corenda Swain rolled, highlighting the requirements that Layla Lethan exceeded to be this year's overall winner.
In order for any student to get to become the recipient of the Junior Minister of Tourism, they first have to be in the 11th grade. And the school will either have a runoff competition or select a student that would compete locally with other students on whatever topic is chosen by the Ministry of Tourism. After which they would then go into the capital and compete again for the main title of the Junior Minister of Tourism.
Acting principal at Grand Bahama Academy, Jeffrey Jervis, says this is a proud moment for Layla and Grand Bahama Academy.
I always had faith in Layla. She's a very hard-working, focused, self-motivating, overachiever, good communicating student. For this to happen here at Grand Bahama Academy, we're all elated right now. Of course, this is history in the making. This has never happened in the history of Grand Bahama Academy. And so we are just excited about what transpired. And we are just looking forward to seeing her as she represents Grand Bahama Academy to excel and do well.
Up next, Layla Lethan will debate with other junior ministers, commissioners of tourism from other Caribbean countries in tourism-related issues. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Congratulations, Layla. Well, your sports check is next with Shane Stubbs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to Sports. We've got updates on some flag football action for you, but first, the GB Little League playoffs are set to begin this week, and everyone's excited about it.
The GB Little League regular season is in the books, and it was an exciting one, according to President Stephen Adderley.
It's been a pretty good season. I think probably one of the most competitive seasons we've ever had. No team was able to go undefeated this year, and every team got at least 1 or 2 wins, so we've never really had that much balance, but that's been pretty awesome for us.
With the playoffs set to begin this Wednesday, Adderley says everyone should buckle up their seatbelts.
I expect some surprises. I don't think anyone can go in there taking any team light. It's gonna be you got to come with the A game if you're going to win this year.
Continuing in Little League Baseball, the Red Sox are ready to make some noise after a great regular season. The team has their eyes set on rebounding from last year's loss in the 8U division while aiming to defend their 10U crown. Here's 8U and 10U coach Oscar Green.
We've been doing pretty good this season. Both of our teams are currently sitting in first place right now, and so we just wanted to use this last day of the regular season just to touch upon some last-minute things and fine-tune the little details and get ready to enter the playoffs. In the 10U division, we won, so we want to defend that title. Coach Pitch Division 8U, we want to try to get back on top. So practices have been going good. Coach Carl, Coach Thompson, Coach Bruce, Coach TJ, we had a lot of help. Coach Farentino, we had a lot of guys helping out this year, so we appreciate that. Coach Mikey as well. We just like the fact that the dads are really coming out and helping out a lot this year, helping out with the coaches, so we got a lot of assistance from them, and we really appreciate that.
The The playoffs get underway this Wednesday with 10U action. The Lions will have a tall test when they take on the top-seeded Fortune 360 at 5:30 p.m. over at the Yamara Park. And lastly, in sports, action continuing in the Grand Bahama Football League over the weekend. The Lady Elites got over the Fidelity Flames by a final score of 14-6. Here's Flames coach Eugene McMinns and Elites coach James Wildgoose.
They got a lot of heart to just keep playing into the end. Execution of the plays. You know, you can draw it up as much as you want, but at the end of the day, it's plays, and then you see results. Today was a confidence build-up, trying to get the team back to where we need to be, back in full championship form.
Also in the female division, the Pink Sands Tigers fell to the Out-to-Sea Triton 6-0. Here's Tigers coach Leon Cooper.
Just a couple defensive miscues really allowed them to get in the end zone. But of course, game 6-0 is a tough loss, but they learn from it.
Over on the men's side of the field, the Three Links boys defeated the Coca-Cola Knights by a final score of 20-8. The Sky's the Limit Rock boys blasted the Container Port Starkers by a final score of 31-0, and the Mobile Go Tritons dominated the Buckeye Oilers 47-0.
And that's a quick check on sports. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Shane Stubbs. Be safe and be great.
Your choice to dine this Mother's Day weekend. Enjoy an exquisite 3-course meal or Sunday brunch, live music, prizes, and giveaways. Tickets on sale now. For reservations, call off the Deep Edge at 352-1664 or WhatsApp 807-3400. The NACAC New Life Invitational Track Meet comes to the Grand Bahama Sports Complex Saturday, May 13th. Tickets $20 for adults and $10 for children. Dynamite Productions and Pastor Simeon Ouden present Tell Mother I'll Be There. Sunday, May 14th at 7 p.m. at New Life Worship Center. Get your tickets now for $25 or $30 at the door. Don't miss this unforgettable event. Tickets available at New Life Worship Center.
Catch the spectacular Mother's Day sale going on now through May 12th at Bethel's Air Conditioning and Refrigeration. Prices on all Ream units have been slashed. Purchase now while supplies last. Some restrictions may apply. Happy Mother's Day from Bethel's Air Conditioning.
Don't miss the 25% off Mother's Day sale at Park & Shop. 25% off in the ladies department May 11th, 12th, and 13th.
On Sunday, May 28th, it's a West End move. He's got a West End move. Get ready, it's the road to 50. It's the best of the best concert featuring KB. T-Mac. I nearly married the garden. Elon Moxley. Veronica Fisher. Hello, we better come on. Michi Ellis. Let me go. Lil Joe Cartwright. Let's dance tonight. Let's have Puzzle. It's my birthday. Come on, get it. Papa Smurf. Melody. Watch me how I dance and hold my step. Yes. You come go with me. Be money. And Wilfred Sullivan. House Band will be in the Grand Bahama League Pop Band. And it goes down Sunday, May 28th from 5 p.m. till the Independence Field West End. Admission is $10. Sorry, no kids. It's the best of the best concert.
It's Worship in Paradise, bringing experiences from around the world to the Grand Lucayan Hotel on Grand Bahama, the Bahamas. It's the Barry B. Morris International Music and Fine Arts Conference, Praising 250, featuring Pastor Benita Jones from Atlanta, Georgia, Pastor Emmanuel De Jesus, New Jersey, Pastor Timothy Johnson, Nassau, Bahamas, Minister Valerie Tuttle, Kentucky, Pastor Barry B. Morris, and many others. Come out and be transformed at this 3-day cultural and worship conference with performances by worship teams from Canada, the United Kingdom, Eastern Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, Spanish and Creole worship team, the Tabernacle Concert Choir, the Bahamas Public Officers Choir, the Fabulous Cooling Water, Pastor Simeon Out, and the Bahama Brass Band. Registration is $120. The cultural concert is $20. It's the Barry B. Morris International Music and Fine Arts Conference, June 2nd through 4th, 7:30 p.m. at the Grand Lucayan Hotel in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Bahamas. Come out and claim your blessing.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
John West Shoes is now open. Carmichael West, Nassau, behind Wendy's.
Strength choke canoe, fishing and sailing, just to name a few, free from bondage. That was our heritage. Our nation isn't perfect, there is more work to be done. Forward, upward, and onward towards the rising sun. Yes, we should be proud. It's time to say it loud. Oh, grab your flag, wave it from side to side. Aqua, gold, and black represents your pride. Lift your head and say, I'm a Bahamian. That's what I told her. Bring the winding thing here. This is Rick and Script, so show me emotion. Hey, wind and go down low.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Our Facebook friend of the day is Reverend Naphtali Cooper. We hope you are having a fantastic birthday and we appreciate your support. And we also want to say happy birthday to our very own Joan Davis Roll. We know the party is on, Joan, so we are coming to celebrate with you. Well, that's a look at the Northern Edition. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight continues. I'm Raven Davis. Thanks for watching and good night.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, demolitions to come. Correctional officers in training. A renewed call for a Bahamian head of state. And in sports, the Bahamas takes down Guatemala. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is linked up by BTC. Whether it's chatting, gaming, content creating, or working smart to get things done, link up to stay connected with BTC.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Makush Lopinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. The government may have suffered a legal setback, but by no means has it given up on its plans to tackle the ever-expanding Shantytown dilemma. Cleopatra Murphy has the latest from the Attorney General following that Supreme Court ruling.
Government will proceed with plans to demolish shantytowns on Abaco and New Providence, despite Chief Justice Sir Ian Winder's ruling on May 3rd that only two of some 300 shantytown homes were built in defiance of a 2018 Supreme Court injunction preventing new construction. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder explains the next move.
The judge ruled that the notice of the injunction was not adequately served on the applicable people that were enjoined. That does not foreclose us from proceeding under violations of the building regulations. That was specific to the injunction, which we wanted to proceed to test the injunction and test that matter in front of the courts. However, we certainly have every right to proceed with violations of the building regulations. We intend to proceed along that process.
As for when actual demolitions will begin, Pinder says the Unregulated Communities Action Task Force, chaired by Minister of Works and Utilities, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, will make that determination.
Certainly, as far as the Attorney General's office is concerned, we'll put in the legal requirements and the legal processes to give the government the authority to proceed. But, as you can imagine, it's a very sensitive matter with respect to, social assistance, with respect to Bahamians living in these structures, and the government's response to that. And all of those were in the remit of the committee.
In his ruling, the Chief Justice made it clear that the Minister of Works and Utilities has means under the law to demolish shantytown dwellings, a criticism Attorney Fred Smith, who represented some 177 shantytown residents in the case against government, also made, accusing government of attempting to use the court to do its job. Pinder says he does not respond to Smith, also dismissing the claim.
No. The legal system is in place for a reason. And you follow through on the aspects of the law and matters that are in front of the judiciary. And that's all that was.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Meantime, the Privy Council's landmark citizenship decision affirming that children born out of wedlock to Bahamian fathers and foreign mothers are citizens at birth has left the government with little choice but to get down to work to make crucial changes to the existing legislation. It's an issue cabinet members planned to tackle today during their weekly meeting.
What measures are in place? One, to evaluate under Article 6 and the biological father in the case of illegitimate children. And secondly, the way forward with the remaining elements of discriminatory treatment, and primarily the discriminatory treatment when a Bahamian woman marries a foreign man and has that child outside of the country. But there are a couple of others, including matters with adopted children and the like that we're looking at. So hopefully we'll have some clear direction from Cabinet shortly.
In his initial response last week, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, acknowledged that the High Court's ruling is an important step towards ensuring equal citizenship rights for all children, irrespective of their parents' marital status, a view shared by the Prime Minister. This, however, does not apply in the case of someone born to two foreign nationals.
Well, I think that the Constitution provides for that. They can apply at 18.
On Saturday's pageantry-laden coronation of King Charles III, reigniting talks about whether Britain should remain the Commonwealth's head of state. This, of course, in the case of those who haven't yet severed ties. So goes the story of Barbados last year. Jamaica is moving in the same direction, while St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew believes his country is not totally free as long as King Charles III remains its head. Just Monday, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves, said having a British monarch as head of state is an absurdity he would like to end in his lifetime. While sharing his own views on the matter, Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, maintains that it is time to have a Bahamian head of state.
The state of affairs and the need for change 50 years later is, like Michael Manley used to say, impatient of debate. But even in so-called radical Jamaica, you will hear it said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or, there are some more important things to do than constitutional change. But the stark reality is this. As benign as things look, as the monarchy appears, as unobtrusive and inexpensive as it appears, there has to be something wrong and rotten in the state of Denmark when a European leader is the embodiment of the state of dispersed Africans on far-flung islands in the Caribbean. Someday, some generation will have to fix this. Until then, I guess we'll soldier along as we have, with the obvious staring in our faces, but we will pretend, like Bob Dylan says in his song, that we just don't see.
Now, when questioned about the possibility of the Bahamas becoming a republic following Queen Elizabeth II's death last September, Prime Minister Philip Davis said his administration would let the people decide. As it stands, King Charles III is head of state in 8 Caribbean countries. Still, some Caribbean leaders question for how much longer. In other news this evening, 32 correctional officers are undergoing correctional behavioral health training. Senior Director of Professional Development at the American Correctional Association, Dr. Elizabeth gondolas. It says the training will equip staff with the fundamentals of mental illness. She says understanding when inmates are showing different behavioral patterns can signal a problem and ultimately reduce violence, suicides, and self-harm. The training brings together the security section of the facility, the correctional officers, and the therapist from the treatment side.
It's a human rights issue. We know that there's mental illness, and if there's mental illness, we have to treat these individuals. Second of all, we have to arm our staff, and we have to prepare our staff to recognize that the people that are coming into our facilities have this issue, and how to de-escalate situations that could not only hurt other inmates, but also could hurt the staff, and it could put the correctional facilities at risk of issues and violence.
Wayne Munro adding that the training will allow BDOCs to meet requirements under the Mental Health Act and allow staff to identify when intervention is necessary. He says because those inmates are housed together, the extra training staff receive is important.
There have been, I think, 3 in total fatalities that either relate to self-harm or interaction with other inmates. They call them residents now. That is really an impetus in driving the need to get a proper facility in place as quickly as possible. And so that is a real issue.
Monday marked 6 months since the implosion of FTX Digital Markets. The same day, its former point man, Sam Bankman-Fried, asked a United States judge to throw out criminal charges against him over the platform's very public collapse. Bankman-Fried's attorneys contend in Manhattan federal court filings that the campaign finance charge should be dismissed because it wasn't included on the surrender warrant signed by the Bahamas' foreign minister before their client's extradition. Further, that the other charges, including bribery, were improperly brought after he was extradited. Now, under an extradition treaty between the U.S. and the Bahamas, Bankman-Fried may only be tried and punished for charges he faced at the time of his extradition unless the Bahamas government consents to the new charges. Prosecutors have until May 29th to respond to Bankman-Fried's dismissal request, and U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan will hear arguments on June 15th. The former FTX chief's trial is set for October 2nd. Back here at home, a bomb scare at the Nassau Street Magistrates Court complex. Police said it was sometime around 11:40 this morning that an unidentified caller contacted the magistrates court and said the building would be blown up. As a result, the court complex was evacuated and the necessary authorities contacted. The call turned out to be just a hoax. Well, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, has ordered that all national flags be flown at half-mast tomorrow to honor the lives lost in the May 10, 1980 sinking of the Royal Bahamas Defense Forces HMBS Flamingo. The Prime Minister describing the observance as the collective mourning and unwavering respect for the brave servicemen, namely Able Seaman Fenric Stirrup, Marine Seaman Austin Smith, Marine Seaman David Tucker, and Marine Seaman Edward Williams, who tragically lost their lives in the incident. This symbolic act, says the Prime Minister, is not merely a display of the country's mourning, but also a long-serving testament to our unity and resolve as a nation. Well, as we head to the break, we want to remind you to stay tuned later in the newscast for our Mother's Day giveaway code. Once you log on to www.znesbahamas.com, you'll enter the code and answer an online question to be eligible to win a 3-day, 2-night stay at Comfort Suites on Paradise Island. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell.
You were
Fueling
looking at me,
journeys
it
that
gave me
matter.
vibes that a bumper was supposed to.
We are a leading Bahamian bank, one of the largest publicly traded companies on BISX. Our measure of strength is our growth and performance, with over $1.7 billion in assets. We remain committed to serving the interests of our shareholders, staff, clients, and communities. The confidence to lead, the performance to remain. We are Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles done cooking.
Mine so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
Just when Leo was about to buy this useless pair of Hands underwear, he remembered that it was Tuesday. Hungry for deals? You better come satisfy it at KFC before doing something crazy. Crazy Tuesdays! 5 juicy, mouth-watering pieces of world-famous KFC chicken, handmade with a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices for only $10. Crazy Tuesdays! A finger-licking good deal.
I'm free to live my life, yeah, yeah. Free to be me, yeah. The way I wanna be, doing the things that I wanna do. Yes, I'm living my life, hey, B-A-F for life. Yes, I'm living my life, hey, B-A-F for life, for life. Yeah, F has got you covered.
Moms are the best. And this year, Z&S and Comfort Suites wants to help you have the very best Mother's Day ever. Just tune in to Z&S TV's Bahamas Tonight, evening news, Monday, May 8th through Thursday, May 11th. Watch for the different code word each day. Then go to www.znsbahamas.com. Enter the code word of the day and answer the question, and you will be eligible to win a 3-day, 2-night stay at Comfort Suites on Paradise Island, where you can enjoy not only the amenities there, but also have full access and signing privileges at Atlantis. The winner will be announced on Friday, May 12th, just in time for Mother's Day. Moms are the best. And now Z&S and Comfort Suites will make this Mother's Day the best.
This segment of the news is brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/GearUp for an RBC auto loan.
With the U.S. set to lift the COVID-19 vaccination requirement for foreign travelers on Thursday, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, is seeing only positive things for the Bahamas. He believes lifting the last of the COVID-19 requirements will be a benefit to the country's already rebounding tourism sector.
Freedom and ease of travel for people everywhere is going to be extremely positive for the Bahamas. Persons coming from Europe who might wish to travel to the USA and onward to the Bahamas, for example, or the other way around, no longer need to be concerned about this. This will cause significant seamlessness in terms of travel to the USA, and I think this will be overall proof positive for the Bahamas. We're looking forward to the amendment.
In other news, the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority anticipate garnering quality feedback on its public consultation on the demand for enhanced internet connectivity and 5G in the Bahamas. The goal is to develop a more in-depth and evidence-based understanding of 5G, even though the utility regulator acknowledges some amendments and/or additions to the existing regulatory framework may be needed. Those interested can submit comments or responses to IRCA before 5 p.m. on June 5th. Once the consultation ends, IRCA will then review the responses and comments and publish its statement of results within 30 calendar days following the end of the consultation period. She's been a nurse for decades, serving the Bahamas in a profession she truly believes is her calling. As the world celebrates Nurses Month this May, we shine a light on President of the Midwives Association of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Nurse Andrea Nottage. Cleopatra Murphy has the story.
As the country continues to bleed nurses to larger countries offering bigger paychecks, a 40-year nursing veteran who resisted the lure is encouraging her younger counterparts to stay at home.
The pay may not be what it's worth, but I tell people your value and your worth, you can never be paid for, but the blessings that you receive are far greater.
Andrea Nottage, a nursing officer at the Princess Margaret Hospital, knew since she was a child that she wanted to care for others and admits nursing is truly her passion. That passion was tested at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, an admittedly scary time for nurses like herself, who feared they would not only catch the virus and die, but possibly take it home to their families.
And so we were always out there on the front line, always on the front line. When many other professions were at home, working from home, nurses were not able to work from home. We had to go into work, and there was not a shortage in terms of your shift being cut short. Sometimes your shift ended being longer in order to provide care to these persons. So it was a very difficult time for nurses.
Despite challenging periods, Nottage, who doubles as president of the Midwives Association of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, says her career has been a rewarding one.
The experience has been exciting. It's been interesting in that you get to care for a lot of people with various conditions, diseases. You get to meet a lot of people. You get to network. And I consider nursing as a ministry. You get to minister to people of all walks of life.
She is wishing nurses countrywide a happy Nurses Month, encouraging all to uphold the standards and principles of nursing as they deliver care to the public. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Well, dozens of lupus warriors worshipped at the Church of God of Prophecy this past Sunday, the service officially kicking off Lupus Awareness Month. Every Friday, Bahamians then are encouraged to pop, wearing purple colors for the cure. Lupus 242 has been in existence for about 11 years now and welcomes new members daily. President Shawnee Johnson, who lost her mother and sister to the autoimmune disease, outlined some of the events planned to heighten the awareness of the illness.
When is World Lupus Day, the Prime Minister would have recognized it as such, and so we'll have celebrations surrounding that. And then this Friday, we'll have a pop-up run on Goodman's Bay. We'll also have a health talk on the 27th of this month. And so these are events that are important for us to raise awareness, but also to educate. And so the health talk is a really important one because it gives people an opportunity to really meet with medical professionals and hear and learn more about a very complicated illness.
The National Report returns in a moment. Stay with us.
Attention, island friends. This is a Parrot Service announcement. A manta ray mayday, a turtle alert, bottlenose news flash. They're in trouble and you can help. Our mission at the Blue Project Foundation is to protect thousands of endangered animals and their homes. One of the ways is by caring for coral reefs, a vital part of our entire ecosystem. Find out how you can help save these majestic animals. Learn more at blueprojectatlantis.org.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
This moment in time, very, very exciting for me, and to know that we can have this time to look back and right now in the present see his lovely wife and children who has weathered the storms with him in getting this country where we are right now. We thank God for the legacy.
He is such an inspirational individual. He is what many may say that is a perfect representation of a true leader.
And the legacy for me that Sir Lyndon Pindling left was all about freedom.
For my generation, Sir Lyndon Pindling was everything, because without him,
I wouldn't be standing here doing what I have been doing for the past 30 years.
I never look at it the same way as him as just a man. He has given everything that he had, including his family, and definitely left a legacy behind that can never, ever be forgotten.
I love that we have a chance to just say thank you for his work.
The 6th edition of the Bahamas Games are on the way. July 7th through the 15th. Get ready for inter-island sporting competition in the spirit of unity and camaraderie. Which island is gonna win? Our nation, our talent, our games. And look out for the B Games crew coming to your island soon. For more information, call 809-1242 or visit thebahamasgames.org.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian. Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
International Day of Plant Health is on the way. May 12th, the world will pause to celebrate the importance of plants and the need to keep them healthy. It is a day especially important to the staff of the Bahamas Agricultural Health Food Safety Authority, known as BAFSA, who are driving home the importance of plant health.
Plant health is critical to achieving food safety along the entire food chain. Climate change plays a major role in our ability to mitigate against pests, diseases, and those that are emerging every day. Having a food safety plan and implementing the appropriate use of pesticides on the farm allows for the adaptation of new and resilient methods to protect plant health and ensure that our food is safe, sustainable, and of the highest quality.
According to Minister of Agriculture Clay Sweeting, food security depends heavily on plant health.
The components of food security, which include access, availability, utilization, and stability, are, however, severely impacted by plant diseases. One such disease is Fusarium wilt disease, or tropical race 4, caused by the soil-borne fungus and considered one of the most destructive diseases of banana in the world. The potential impact of its threat is particularly severe as the Cavendish banana variety, which makes up about 47% of global production, is highly susceptible to the disease.
Prevention is therefore critical for the protection of agriculture and livelihoods of those that work in the sector, and for the protection of our food supply. Let's do our part to protect plants and to protect life. Happy International Day of Plant Health.
For Good to Grow, I'm Georgia Bain.
It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
As the country inches closer to its Golden Jubilee, international partner China has gifted it a performance from one of its premier groups to add to the festivities of independence. At this hour, our Lloyd Allen is standing by, the Chinese ambassador's residence, with more on this special gift set to commemorate 50 years of independence. Good evening, Lloyd.
Now we're at the residence of the Chinese ambassador to the Bahamas, Dai Qingli. And earlier today, we found out a bit more about the People's Republic of China making a donation to the Bahamas, a special donation of a special troupe of performers well known throughout the region. Earlier today, we visited the Atlantis Resort where those troopers were in rehearsal. Here's a bit of what we saw.
This show is about the special local Chinese performers from the provision from the Hunan.
The 30-strong troupe from the Yunnan province in China are in country to showcase traditional Chinese performances as a part of a gift from the People's Republic of China to the Bahamas on its 50th independence celebration. Now, as rehearsals ramped up at the Atlantis Resort for the group, director Shangwu Zhao shared on the popularity of the cultural performers.
The show is about Chinese performers and from the Hunan local special show from here. Yeah, she just want to take the local special show to all over the world.
With a variety of performances, this 35-year-old says he had worked in the field for 20 years and has mastered the art of mimicking sounds of nature and native birds. Now, of course, as I indicated earlier, we visited the Atlantis Resort for that special interview. But right now, I'm standing with the ambassador to the Bahamas from the People's Republic of China, Her Excellency Dai Qingli. And of course, we know yesterday that troupe was in Grand Bahama. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I'm really excited to say that, we now have a wonderful cultural presentation from Hunan province, which is like the 7th largest province in terms of population and the 9th largest in terms of GDP. They are sending their best acrobats to the Bahamas. And last night, we had their first performance at Grand Bahama in Freeport. And that performance was just a wonderful show, and they were so warmly welcomed by the audience, and the audience reacted so, enthusiastically to their spectacular display of skills and beautiful moves by all those acrobats. I think the first performance was a great success.
And we know, of course, they have 2 other performances set for tomorrow at 12 and at 8 p.m. at the Atlantis Resort. For locals, what can they expect once they come out to those shows?
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad to say tomorrow at 12 o'clock, that is a general admission for all interested Bahamians. They may just walk into Atlantis Theatre to experience. That is our special gift, to the Bahamian people. We want you to be free to watch the acrobatics. So to be sure, come early to Atlantis Theatre in order to secure your seat. And then in the evening at 8 p.m., they will be performing once again, the second time in Nassau. So all the performances are basically similar. They have 16 programs, and they will select like 13 from them to perform.
Well, of course, as that information was shared, of course, you can come out tomorrow to see those viewings. But right now, more than a dozen persons out here celebrating and communing with members from that team, as well as the ambassador. And of course, we will continue to be out here covering this event. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla, back to you in studio.
Thanks, Lloyd. What a gift from the People's Republic of China. Well, Mother's Day just days away, and to recognize the crucial role they play, a single mother of 6 is sharing her journey, all the peaks and valleys, while balancing academic, social, and civic duties. LaDawn Davis has a story.
What for me is making sacrifices, being their support system.
Surpassing normal motherly duties to ensure that her 6 children have everything they need is a top priority for graduating senior at the University of the Bahamas, Delilah Strapp. Delilah, now 38, says conceiving her first child at just 20 years old took a toll on her mentally and physically.
I did not know what to do, and then I ended up eventually developing postpartum depression. because I was scared. Being a mother for the first time was like I wasn't ready, and now this obstacle is now here, and I have to face it, and I have to now deal with it.
With her oldest 18 and youngest just turning 5 years old, Delilah says she's blessed that their fathers have stepped up and remain involved in their lives. But she says some of the intense struggles she faced as a mother sometimes pushed her to the limit.
There were times that I just didn't have it. Like, I didn't know where the next meal was going to come from in the beginning. You know, you have all these bills that are coming, but yet though, when the child say they need something or you know that they need to eat, I would rather go without just to make sure that they always had it.
Delilah says being active in a sorority, pursuing studies in education, and working part-time, all while nurturing her 6 children, could not have been possible without the strong support of her family here in the capital and in the nation's second city. She says the negative comments received for being so young with 6 children did not deter her from becoming a role model for her kids and other single mothers.
A lecture made me feel like I wasn't gonna make it. Like, the only thing I was good for was having children. So I basically thought that I wasn't gonna do nothing except probably be a cashier for the rest of my life, just some random job. But then as the years went on, I was like, you know what, I wanted more. I didn't just want to work as a cashier. I wanted to have a successful job, to build a legacy for me.
Delilah has always dreamt big and is now nearing her goal as she is on the Dean's List at the University of the Bahamas and set to graduate with a bachelor's degree in physical education next year. Happy Mother's Day, Delilah Strap. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
This year, Zedness and Comfort Suites want to help you have the very best Mother's Day ever. Just tune in to Zedness TV's Bahamas Tonight evening news from Monday, May 8th to Thursday, May 11th from 7 to 8 p.m. and watch for the different code word each day. Then go to www.zednessbahamas.com, enter the code word of the day, and answer the question, and you'll be eligible to win a 3-day, 2-night stay at Comfort Suites on Paradise Island, where you can enjoy not only all the amenities there, but also have full access and signing privileges at Atlantis. The winner will be announced on Friday, May 12th, just in time for Mother's Day. Moms are the best, and now Zedness and Comfort Suites will make this Mother's Day the best. Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Spring is here and Easter is right around the corner. Thinking about moving forward with your personal goals that require money? Fidelity Bank can get you approved in no time without the red tape and the runaround. Fidelity offers competitive interest rates and minimal fees. The loan that you need and can afford is just a phone call away.
You can find it all at Builders Mall. From cement, lumber, block, plumbing, and electrical to paint, lights, vanities, and tiles. Not to mention all the tools you could possibly need to get the job done. Say if you're starting a major project, adding the finishing touches, or just doing some repair or rental work around the house. FYP, the Paint Center, and Tile King can help. Stop by or call 601-8453. Located 69 Wolf Road, Nassau. You can find it all at Builders Mall. Building, painting, and tiling, the Bahamas.
This is the super versatile Ring stick-up cam. It goes indoors, outdoors, outdoors in the rain. It's got two-way talk. Hey, Eddie. Works with Alexa. Comes in tons of power options and works with Ring Alarm to start recording automatically if something's going on. Seriously? Seriously. So start protecting your home with the easy installing indoor-outdoor stick-up cam by Ring.
Now is the time to start living the life you've always dreamed of. Purchase that new car. Consolidate debt. Make your house a home, or switch your mortgage to lower your monthly payments. And BOB will be with you every step of the way to help you live your very best life. With the lowest consumer loan rates in the country, we are BOB, your bank of solutions.
If you've got termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
Community of Kemps Bay ushering in one of the Church of God of Prophecy's newest lay ministers, Joshua Manuel Roll. A son of the soil, Roll was educated in South Andros, spending his early adult years working in New Providence before returning home 16 years ago with his family. During Sunday's ceremony, he committed to doing right by his God and to the community that helped him steer into his new role.
South Andros, this will change. This a change. The song said, Jesus now, more than ever. We are sailing in some stormy weather. Say, all this people, all this children, come together. For we need Jesus now.
Roll becomes the latest islander to ascend to lay minister. Among those attending the service, Edna's Chairman Paiswell Forbes and the National Overseer of the Church of God of Prophecy in the Bahamas, Bishop Dr. Franklin M. Ferguson. Permanent Secretary Jack Thompson and Pastor Dale Moss offered well wishes to Minister Roll's mother, Reverend Edna Roll, in raising a man of God.
Faithful, yes. A lady of humility, yes. And a lady that we all love so much. Let's give Pastor Roll, outgoing, emeritus Roll, a round of applause. I wish to congratulate you, sir, on having taken the mantle. Be assured of our prayers and continued support.
As we celebrate the passing on of Pastor Edna Roll in her service in ministry to move to another level of leadership, which is that of lay minister Joshua Manuel Roll, her son, that God so selected for this time and this season.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We're under cloudy skies, temperature at 81 degrees, the relative humidity on the rich side, 80%. We have northeast winds at 14 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,016.3 millibars. That is 30.01 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Violence this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 79 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Toll, Key, and Marshall, Barbacoa, the Berry Islands, 81, Alisson, Bimini, 82 degrees. 80 degrees in Harbor Island and Roxanne, Lutra, Black Point, Exuma, Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek and Central Andros at 82 degrees. 80s in Alisson, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey, Georgetown, Exuma, 82 degrees. 82s in Rygat Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Actually, Bay, Maguana, 83, also Acklands, 83 degrees, Matthewtown and Nago, 84, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall. home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter, for all areas tonight right through Thursday. You can expect those winds to be out of the northeast at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights at 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide will occur at 11:48 tonight. You can expect your low tide at 6:23 tomorrow morning. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Link up with BTC and call it one and done. Link up with BTC and call it one and done.
I'm Corval Pyfrom. Just in time to celebrate our country's 50th year of independence, BTC is unveiling our commemorative issue of our telephone directory to mark this momentous occasion.
We wanted to commemorate our 50th anniversary independence, and want to just make sure that everybody understands that in this book this year we have a treasure trove of information relative to our journey to independence. If you notice on the front cover, there's going to be a barcode. So once you scan that barcode takes you straight to our digital product. The directory delivery date has changed from January, which was historically the time we brought the books in. So we're now bringing the books in April. And so the directory annual year would go from April to March of the next year. If you go on our website, you'll be able to see exactly where the books are, and you'll be able to pick your book. You want to get these books. These books are absolutely keepsakes for you.
As a country, we're still young, we're still marking our bearing, but the 50th is the Golden Jubilee. It's that benchmark, seminal moment in a country's progression where you have time to reflect and critically think about the past and from whence we came. So as a country, it really gives us a chance to ponder, to think, and to have a little more perspective as we've rolled out 50 now.
The women's suffrage movement was one of the political movements during the 40s and 50s which helped to pave the way to majority rule and independence. I want Bahamians to always remember the work that these women did to help to make this day or this year possible of 50 years of independence. I think it's a really great information tool. It's a great coffee table piece that you can pick up and just read about the road to independence. And so I think BTC has been visionary in how it has set this project.
So be sure to pick up a copy of your directory. It's a keepsake, and you'll have history in your hands. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corval Pyfrom. Be well and be back here next. BTC Connection.
Beyond Flag Store at 138 Wolf Road has everything you need to celebrate anything. Celebrate sports, the Carifta Games, country, and more. With flags, pins, souvenirs, stickers, memorabilia. Rent flag poles, install flag poles. Whatever keeps the fun going, you'll find it at Beyond Flags. Flags for everything, everywhere, and everyone. Beyond Flags also offers commercial printing services and take U.S. visa applications and appointments. Telephone 308-8250 or toll free at 242-225-9555.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
J.S. Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles with Obama's men's and national beach soccer teams looking to go 2-0 as they currently take on Belize on day 2 of the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships at the National Beach Soccer Stadium. The Baja boys hoping to continue the momentum that they picked up last night, knocking off Guatemala in dramatic fashion. Here's a look at those highlights. The Bahamas men's national beach soccer team, after coming up short in its previous 2 matches against Guatemala on Monday night as the Bahamas came from behind to take down the visitors in a sudden death penalty shootout to wrap up the first day of competition at the 2023 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships at the National Beach Soccer Stadium. After a 2-2 draw at the end of regulation, the Bahamas and Guatemala played a scoreless extra session and was once again tied at the end of the penalty shootout, with both sides scoring on 4 of their 5 opportunities. On his first opportunity in sudden death, Gary Joseph came through for the home squad, pushing a delayed shot to the upper right portion of the goal to put the Bahamas on the brink of victory, and a clutch save from Team Bahamas' goalkeeper Michael Butler would give the 2-4-2 the opening win and 3 points in the qualifying process. The Bahamas is among 12 countries vying for one of 2 qualifying spots for the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup to be held in Dubai in November. Just the top 2 teams from these Beach Soccer Championships again will qualify. The Bahamas will hope to continue that momentum against Mexico on Wednesday. Still on soccer, stakeholders gathering at the Ministry of Education this morning to announce the restart of the 2023 Sam Haven National High School Soccer Championships, the event which has not taken place in nearly 3 years due largely to the COVID-19 pandemic, is expected to see a number of schools across several islands compete for that floating trophy.
Track and field is one of the few events in our country, I don't know if we remember this, where a sports day, an actual sports day is practiced with regards to the sport by most schools every year. It leaves a lot of our sport disadvantaged. And Mr. President and I made a pact that we have to find a way to inculcate that in soccer.
We're back, and we're back in a big way. We're very excited to once again host this tournament. As Evan mentioned, we have the tournament will see participation from the 3 major islands, and our main goal is to ensure that as we put on future tournaments, championships, that we will incorporate more islands. But for this edition, we have Abaco, Grand Bahama, and New Providence.
And Lionel Haven, the brother of the tournament's namesake, speaks on keeping his legacy alive.
Was heavily invested in the sport. Sam was a multi-sport athlete, but soccer was his love, his passion, his joy. He served in almost every capacity one could think of in the sport, first as a player, also as a coach, and then finally as an administrator in various roles in the administration of the BFA. And just at the end, Anton used a word that I had thought of when thinking about what I would say, and that is that this event gives the opportunity for his legacy to live on.
If you passed Goodman's Bay this weekend, you might have seen that it was blocked off for the time being, this as it was the site for the 2023 Bahamas Triathlon Association National Championships. The scores of triathletes of all ages across several divisions ran, swam, and cycled to move atop the point standings. The event serving as a precursor or test event for the Carifta Triathlon and Aquathlon, set to take place here in New Providence later this summer. Look at some of the winners taking the 16 and open category would be Lonnie Duncombe and Cammie Roach. For the 13 and 15 division, the winners there would be Malcolm Menzies and Issa Bornas.
It felt really good. I came out the water good. I came out the water fast. My transitions were good. They were efficient. I really felt good about my bike. The speed that I held through both phases, going up and going down.
Well, so the course was like, the swim was supposed to be like loops, but it was like too rough. So it was just like, you just swam all along the beach. And then the bike, it was 4 loops. So that was like, it was a fast bike. And then the run was 3 loops.
I think I did very well. I pushed through the water since the waves were really rough, and at the end I tried to push myself.
Oh, it was amazing. The swim course is really rough, and the bike is really windy. It was a very challenging day today, but it was very good. I felt really good.
We also caught up with this first-timer who talked about his experience.
The experience wasn't bad. I wouldn't call it the best, but it wasn't bad. I tried my best. I put God first. I tried to make my family as proud as I could possibly can. And I just tried my best to finish as hard as possible.
And still on cycling, if you traverse the western side of New Providence early in the morning, you may see them speed past in their bright colors on their bikes. But a group of local cyclists, not all smiles this evening, find out why in this report from our Charles Fisher.
The name of their club is Enjoy Cycling, but the ride has not been an enjoyable one recently, with some motor vehicles driving in a reckless manner and causing havoc, according to Edward Bethel.
We're out here using bicycles not just as a sport, but also as a means of transportation. Many of our members ride every day to work, but also we ride weekends and throughout the week as a healthy activity. We're also looking to try and get kids into the group, and it's very difficult to convince parents.
Club member Carl Blades indicating that motorists need to be aware of other vehicles, not just cars and trucks.
Some of the incidents that we've had has been close calls and even some actual incidents of vehicles hitting cyclists. Normally, we ride on the streets. We are a vehicle. We try to adhere to riding safely, but they're not. The public is not allowing or not adhering to the safe distance between the vehicles and the cyclists.
To avoid mishaps, the club, which has been in existence since 2002, has had to adjust their schedule.
So for our club rides, it's usually early in the mornings because we know that the streets are very busy, so we try and get out there before the roads are very, very heavily trafficked. So throughout the week, we usually ride between the hours of 5 and 7. On the weekends, from about 6 to 9:30, 10 o'clock.
So if you happen to be in the western end of the island or wherever any cyclist is at, give them the courtesy you would give other motor vehicles. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Thanks, Fisher. And that's been a look at your sports on this Tuesday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
centuries, Bahamians have been known as masters of the sea, from the Lucayans and Arawaks, swashbuckling pirates, quaint workboats to meticulously crafted sloop race boats. Bahamians have evolved the sport of sailing as it plays an integral part of our culture. For more than 70 years, Bahamians have displayed passion and grit for the sport, and it is one that has bridged the gap between young and older Bahamians. We are proud to anchor sailing as the national sport of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Janae's Uniform Center. We've traveled to every island in this here land, man. We go everywhere. We can go to every rock and key, Abaco to Inagua, even Ragged Island, The Rock. Celebrate our country's 50th independence with Janae's special limited edition. Sublimated t-shirts and caps in 10 different styles and colors. Get up to 50% off on cotton polo shirts only. Don't forget to embroider your company's logo to celebrate this independence at Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Call 394-8385 or 6. WhatsApp text only 817-3295. Email sales@janaes.com.
One of the biggest decisions you will make when remodeling a kitchen is the design choice for your kitchen cabinets. Whether you want your kitchen to look modern or traditional, the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets will make a sound choice. Stop into Conard Bahamas today and let them enhance your kitchen with the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets. At Conard Bahamas, they also carry an array of Calacatta quartz countertops. Conard Bahamas, Sandyport, Nassau, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Duluth.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we have a weak high-pressure ridge across the Bahamas, and that will support pockets of brief showers over the next couple of days. Tonight, though, we're looking at partly cloudy conditions, 75 degrees for your low temperature, and tomorrow it's going to be partly sunny with a couple of showers in the mix, particularly during the afternoon hours. High temperature just around 85 degrees, and your extended weather forecasts are looking like this, off and on showers. Tomorrow, Thursday, looks a lot better. Showers back in the forecast on Friday, with possibly some thunderstorms as well, and that will carry on through the weekend, when we will see an increase in the shower activity heading into the early part of next week, keeping the temperatures nice, warm, and toasty during the daytime. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil, and that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching, and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
The Honorable Brave Davis is the Governor General.